Welcome back to Steffi Fan's channel. Today, we will learn about the spectacular Christmas Eve celebration that's about to unfold at the Forrester Mansion, bringing together beloved characters for what promises to be one of the most memorable holiday gatherings in bold and the beautiful history. The festive episode airing on Thursday, December 25th, will showcase a series of heartwarming moments that capture the true essence of the holiday season. At the center of these celebrations stands Eric Forrester, the patriarch of the legendary fashion dynasty, who has meticulously planned a Santa surprise that will delight both the young and young at heart. This special reveal comes at a particularly meaningful time for Eric, who has been navigating the emotional challenges of his recent retirement from the design world that defines so much of his identity and purpose. Ridge's extraordinary gift. Before the Christmas Eve festivities reach their peak and guests fill every corner of the magnificent Forrester estate, Ridge Forrester will seize a private moment with his beloved wife Brooke Logan Forrester. The couple, who have weathered countless storms throughout their epic love story, will find themselves alone in what promises to be an intimate exchange away from the bustling preparations and arriving guests. This stolen moment of tranquility represents more than just a brief respite from the holiday chaos. It symbolizes the enduring connection between two people who have found their way back to each other time and again. Ridge has something extraordinary planned for his wife, a gift so incredible and thoughtfully chosen that it will leave Brooke absolutely speechless. The nature of this present reflects Ridge's deep understanding of what truly matters to Brooke, demonstrating the kind of emotional intelligence that comes from years of knowing someone's heart. Whatever Ridge has selected or arranged, it will undoubtedly be something that speaks to their shared history, their rekindled romance, and the future they're building together. Brooke's reaction will be one of genuine surprise and overwhelming joy, her eyes likely filling with happy tears as she realizes the depth of thought and love that Ridge has poured into this gesture. Carter and Daphne's blossoming romance. Meanwhile, across the elegantly decorated rooms of the Forrester Mansion, Carter Walton will be putting his considerable charm and sincerity to work as he continues his determined pursuit of Daphne Rose. The attorney-turned-executive has invested significant time and emotional energy into proving to Daphne that his intentions are genuine and that their connection has the potential to develop into something truly meaningful. Carter's approach has been patient yet persistent, understanding that Daphne needs to feel completely secure before fully opening her heart to the possibility of a serious relationship. As the holiday festivities swirl around them, Carter and Daphne will find themselves naturally gravitating toward each other throughout the evening. They'll mingle effortlessly with the other guests, engaging in pleasant conversations and enjoying the festive atmosphere that permeates every corner of the mansion. The twinkling lights, the carefully chosen decorations, and the general air of celebration create the perfect backdrop for romance to flourish. Carter's attentiveness to Daphne will be evident in every gesture, the way he ensures she has everything she needs, how he introduces her to other guests with obvious pride, and the warm smiles they exchange across crowded rooms. The highlight of their evening together will come when they find themselves standing beneath a strategically placed sprig of mistletoe. The tradition is as old as time, yet the moment will feel fresh and electric as Carter and Daphne share their first public kiss. This tender exchange represents a significant milestone in their developing relationship, a visible declaration that they're moving forward together. Daphne's growing comfort with Carter will be apparent in how she responds to this moment, her earlier reservations beginning to melt away as she allows herself to imagine a future with this man who has worked so diligently to prove his worthiness of her trust. The Finnegan family arrives. As the evening progresses and more guests continue to arrive, Finn and his wife Steffi Forrester Finnegan will make their entrance with their two adorable children in tow. Kelly Spencer and Hayes Finnegan, both dressed in their finest holiday attire, will bring an additional layer of joy and innocence to the celebration. The children's excitement will be palpable and contagious, their wide eyes taking in all the decorations, the beautifully wrapped presents beneath the towering Christmas tree. and the gathering of familiar faces who greet them with warm hugs and affectionate smiles. Steffi and Finn will radiate happiness as they navigate the party with their little ones, clearly relishing this opportunity to celebrate with their extended family. After the various challenges and dramatic upheavals that have tested their marriage over the past year, this peaceful family gathering represents a welcome return to normalcy and stability. They'll spend time ensuring that Kelly and Hayes get to interact with their grandparents, cousins, and other relatives, creating precious memories that will last long after the holiday season has passed. Eric's Christmas spirit revival. Eric Forrester, despite having recently experienced a period of melancholy regarding his retirement from the fashion industry that has been his life's work, will undergo a remarkable transformation during this Christmas Eve celebration. The legendary designer, who built an empire through his creativity and vision, has struggled with the transition away from the daily demands and creative fulfillment that came with being an active part of Forrester Creations. However, the magic of the holiday season and the presence of his beloved family will work their therapeutic powers on his spirits. Eric's mysterious hint about a new design he's preparing to unveil will finally be revealed when he emerges wearing an impeccably crafted Santa Claus costume. This isn't just any store-bought outfit. Knowing Eric's standards and attention to detail, the Santa suit will be a masterpiece of design and craftsmanship, probably featuring custom touches that reflect his decades of experience in the fashion world. The rich red velvet fabric will be of the finest quality, the white fur trim perfectly positioned, and every element executed with the kind of precision that has defined Eric's entire career. Donna Logan Forrester will complement her husband perfectly by donning an equally stunning Mrs. Claus ensemble. Her costume will be both traditional and sophisticated, capturing the festive spirit while maintaining an elegance that befits the Forrester family style. Together, Eric and Donna will create a picture-perfect representation of Mr. and Mrs. Claus, their genuine affection for each other shining through their characters. The couple's decision to dress up and play these beloved roles demonstrates their commitment to making this Christmas Eve truly special for everyone present, particularly for the youngest members of the family. Holiday magic for the children. Hayes and Kelly will be absolutely enchanted by the sight of their grandfather transformed into Santa Claus. Eric will embrace his role with enthusiasm and warmth, settling into his chair and welcoming the children to share their Christmas wishes. His gentle demeanor and authentic portrayal will create moments of pure magic for the little ones, who may or may not suspect that the jolly figure in red is actually their beloved grandfather. Donna, as Mrs. Claus, will assist with distributing small presents and treats, her nurturing nature perfectly suited to the role. The interaction between Eric, Donna, and the children will provide some of the evening's most touching moments, reminding everyone present of what truly matters during the holiday season. The adults will watch with misty eyes as the children's faces light up with wonder and excitement, grateful for the opportunity to witness such innocent joy and to be part of creating these precious memories. The musical finale. As the evening reaches its emotional crescendo, Eric will transition from his role as Santa to become the conductor of a cherished Forrester family tradition, the gathering around the piano for Christmas carols. The magnificent grand piano, a centerpiece of the Forrester living room, will become the focal point as family and friends arrange themselves in a semicircle around it. Eric will take his place at the keyboard, his skilled fingers moving across the keys with the same grace and precision he once applied to sketching fashion designs. The selection of carols will include timeless favorites that everyone knows by heart, perhaps Silent Night, Joy to the World, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas, as voices blend in harmony. The music will fill the mansion with warmth and unity. Ridge's strong baritone will complement Brooke's melodious voice, while Steffi and Finn will join in enthusiastically. Carter and Daphne will stand close together, their voices mingling as they sing. Even the children will participate in their own adorable way, perhaps not hitting all the right notes, but adding their pure, joyful sounds to the chorus. This musical interlude represents more than just a performance. It's a symbol of family bonds, shared traditions, and the continuity that connects past, present, and future generations of the Forrester family. The scene will be bathed in the soft glow of twinkling Christmas lights, with the decorated tree standing sentinel over the gathering, its ornaments reflecting the warm light and happy faces surrounding it. The bold and the beautiful Christmas Eve special will deliver everything fans hope for during holiday episodes: romance, family connections, touching moments, and the spirit of the season captured in every frame. This Forrester family celebration will create memories that resonate long after the last carol has been sung and the final present unwrapped. Next, we will learn about the explosive developments surrounding Katie Logan's newest venture that could completely shake up the fashion world in Los Angeles. The stakes have never been higher as family loyalties are tested and business rivalries reach a boiling point that nobody saw coming. Katie Logan's unexpected wedding gift transforms everything. When Bill Spencer presented Katie Logan with an extravagant wedding gift, nobody could have predicted the seismic shift it would create in the fashion industry landscape. The media mogul didn't just give his bride jewelry or a vacation property, he handed her the keys to an entire fashion house, complete with state-of-the-art facilities, cutting-edge equipment, and unlimited financial backing. This wasn't just a romantic gesture. It was a calculated business move that could reshape the competitive dynamics of the fashion world forever. Katie stood speechless in front of the sleek modern building, her eyes scanning the pristine facade of what would soon become her creative empire. For years, she had poured her heart and soul into Forrester Creations, climbing the corporate ladder and even running the entire company during one particularly tumultuous period. She understood every aspect of the business, from design conceptualization to manufacturing logistics, from marketing strategies to retail distribution networks. But despite her impressive track record and undeniable contributions, Katie always harbored a secret dream that she rarely voiced aloud. She wanted her own fashion house where she could implement her vision without compromise or interference. Bill Spencer knew his wife better than anyone realized. He had watched her frustration grow over the past several months as tensions escalated at Forrester Creations. Ridge Forrester's increasingly authoritarian management style had alienated several key employees, and Katie found herself caught in the crossfire of family drama that seemed to intensify with each passing week. The final straw came when Ridge made a series of unilateral decisions that completely disregarded Katie's input and expertise, treating her like a subordinate rather than the seasoned executive she had become. The timing of Bill's gift couldn't have been more perfect or more strategic. Katie had been contemplating her exit from Forrester Creations for weeks, drafting resignation letters in her mind during sleepless nights and weighing her options during long commutes. Now, with a fully operational fashion house at her disposal and the full financial might of Spencer Publications behind her, she didn't just have an exit strategy, she had a declaration of war. Eric Forrester's forced retirement opens unexpected opportunities. The situation at Forrester Creations had deteriorated significantly in recent months, with Ridge Forrester implementing sweeping changes that shocked the entire organization. The most controversial decision involved his father, Eric Forrester, the legendary designer and company founder whose creative vision had built the Forrester empire from the ground up. Ridge, citing concerns about Eric's health and stamina, had essentially forced his father into early retirement, stripping him of his day-to-day responsibilities and relegating him to an honorary consultant role with no real power or influence. Eric Forrester accepted this humiliating demotion with surprising grace, at least on the surface. He smiled through press conferences announcing his retirement, posed for photos at his farewell party, and publicly praised Ridge's leadership capabilities. But those who knew Eric well could see the fire still burning in his eyes. This wasn't a man ready to fade quietly into retirement. This was a creative genius being sidelined against his will, forced to watch someone else steer the company he built with decades of blood, sweat, and tears. Ridge genuinely believed he was acting in his father's best interests, convinced that the demanding pace and pressure of running a major fashion house would be detrimental to Eric's health. Eric chose not to fight back openly, calculating that direct confrontation would only make Ridge more entrenched in his position. Instead, he played along, letting Ridge believe his retirement plan was working perfectly while quietly keeping his options open and his network active. The emergence of Katie's new fashion house presented Eric with an intriguing possibility he hadn't considered before. What if he didn't have to stay retired? What if he could continue designing and creating without the family drama and corporate politics that had made Forrester Creations increasingly unbearable? The prospect of working under Spencer Publications, backing Katie Logan's fresh vision with his decades of expertise, suddenly seemed like the perfect solution to his forced retirement dilemma. Bill Spencer's aggressive recruitment strategy. Bill Spencer didn't become one of the most powerful media moguls in the country by playing it safe or accepting mediocrity. Now that he had convinced Katie to leave Forrester Creations and helm her own fashion house under the Spencer Publications umbrella, he was absolutely determined to ensure her success by any means necessary. Failure was not an option, not just because Katie was his wife, but because Spencer Publications' reputation was now on the line in a very public fashion industry showdown. Bill's first strategic move would be recruiting top talent away from Forrester Creations, starting with Eric Forrester himself. The legendary designer's forced retirement had created a perfect storm of opportunity. Eric possessed unmatched experience, industry connections spanning decades, and intimate knowledge of Forrester Creations' operations. More importantly, he had a legitimate grievance against Ridge's heavy-handed management style, making him receptive to offers from competitors. Bill recognized that landing Eric would be the ultimate coup, instantly giving Katie's new venture credibility and striking a devastating blow to Forrester's reputation. Beyond Eric, Bill had his sights set on Deacon Sharp, a talented designer whose potential had been consistently underestimated and underutilized in the industry. Deacon possessed raw creative talent that could rival any established designer, but his complicated personal history and controversial past had prevented him from getting the recognition he deserved. Bill saw an opportunity to use Deacon as a secret weapon, an unknown designer working behind the scenes, creating stunning collections that would be attributed to a mysterious new talent. This strategy would generate buzz and intrigue in the fashion press while protecting Deacon from the prejudice that might accompany his name. The recruitment strategy extended even further. Bill had been monitoring the situation with Hope Logan at Forrester Creations, where tensions had been escalating dramatically. Steffi Forrester's insistence on making Thomas Forrester the lead designer for Hope's clothing line had created an untenable working relationship fraught with personal history and professional disagreements. Hope had built Hope for the future into a successful brand through her vision and dedication, only to watch control being gradually stripped away and handed to someone she fundamentally didn't trust. Bill recognized that Hope might be receptive to an offer that would give her complete creative control over her brand, free from Steffi's interference and Thomas's involvement. The dark side of competition, potential sabotage schemes. Bill Spencer had spent years working on personal growth and character development, primarily at Katie's insistence. She had made it abundantly clear that she wouldn't tolerate the ruthless, unprincipled behavior that had characterized his business dealings in the past. Bill genuinely wanted to be a better man for Katie, to prove that he could succeed through legitimate means rather than underhanded tactics and moral shortcuts. But old habits die hard, especially when the stakes are this high and the competition this fierce. As Bill watched the fashion house rivalry intensify, his mind couldn't help but wander to the darker possibilities, the strategic sabotage options that could guarantee Katie's success by undermining Forrester Creations' ability to compete. These thoughts came unbidden, representing the old Bill Spencer wrestling with the reformed version Katie believed in and loved. Corporate espionage represented one possible avenue. Forrester Creations' upcoming designs, carefully guarded trade secrets that could make or break seasonal collections, would be invaluable intelligence. Bill knew people who could infiltrate Forrester's systems, photograph design portfolios, and deliver complete competitor intelligence packages. With advanced knowledge of Forrester's plans, Katie could strategically counter every move, releasing superior designs that would make Forrester's collections look derivative or outdated. Physical sabotage offered more direct but riskier options, manufacturing equipment breaking down at crucial moments before major fashion shows, mysterious power outages affecting design studios during critical production periods, supply chain disruptions causing delays in fabric deliveries. These accidents could cripple Forrester's ability to meet deadlines without leaving obvious fingerprints. Bill had connections with suppliers and contractors throughout Los Angeles who might be persuaded to prioritize Spencer Publications' orders over Forrester's, especially if the financial incentives were sufficiently attractive. The nuclear option orchestrated disasters, like warehouse fires or catastrophic equipment failures, lurked in the darkest corners of Bill's strategic thinking. These scenarios would cause enough chaos and damage to prevent Forrester from launching their competing collection entirely, essentially winning by default. But Bill knew Katie would never forgive him if she discovered he had resorted to such extreme measures, especially if anyone got hurt in the process. Katie's ethical dilemma and family complications. Katie Logan found herself navigating treacherous emotional and ethical territory as her new fashion house venture moved forward. While she was excited about finally having her own company and grateful for Bill's unwavering support, she remained deeply uncomfortable with any suggestion of underhanded tactics or sabotage. Her integrity and moral compass had always been non-negotiable, even when competing against former colleagues and family members. The family dynamics made everything exponentially more complicated. Brooke Logan, Katie's sister, remained deeply entrenched at Forrester Creations, loyally supporting Ridge despite whatever reservations she might privately harbor. The relationship between Katie and Brooke had weathered countless storms over the years, but this business rivalry threatened to create new wounds that might never fully heal. Katie wanted to beat Forrester Creations fair and square, proving that her vision and leadership could triumph without resorting to theft or sabotage. However, Katie couldn't deny that Brooke had crossed certain lines in their personal relationship recently, making decisions and taking actions that felt like profound betrayals. These lingering resentments sometimes clouded Katie's judgment, making her wonder if perhaps some aggressive business tactics might be justified as karmic payback. But even in her angriest moments, Katie knew that compromising her principles would ultimately hollow out any victory she might achieve. Bill recognized Katie's ethical boundaries and genuinely wanted to respect them. But his protective instincts and competitive nature made it difficult to resist the temptation to give his wife every possible advantage. He walked a tightrope between supporting Katie's legitimate business needs and potentially crossing lines that would damage their marriage. Every strategic decision required careful calculation. How far could he push without betraying Katie's trust while still ensuring her fashion house had the best possible chance of success? The fashion showdown that will define everyone's future. The upcoming fashion showdown between Katie's new venture and Forrester Creations represents far more than just business competition. It's a referendum on loyalty, family bonds, creative vision, and personal integrity. Every decision made in the coming weeks will have lasting consequences that extend far beyond quarterly earnings reports or market share statistics. For Katie, success would validate years of hard work and prove she could stand on her own without the Forrester name behind her. Failure would be devastating, potentially ending her fashion career and straining her marriage to Bill if their business venture collapsed spectacularly. The pressure is immense, but so is the opportunity to finally control her own destiny. Eric Forrester faces perhaps the most poignant choice: remain officially retired while watching Ridge continue steering the company in directions he fundamentally disagrees with, or join Katie's upstart venture and compete directly against the legacy he spent his lifetime building. Either path involves painful compromises and potential regrets. Bill Spencer must navigate the most delicate balancing act of his reformed life, supporting his wife's ambitions while resisting the temptation to employ the ruthless tactics that once defined his business philosophy. His character development will be tested like never before as he determines whether he can win cleanly or if his darker instincts will ultimately sabotage both the business venture and his marriage. Ridge Forrester, confident in his leadership and dismissive of any threats from Katie's startup, may be underestimating his opponents and overestimating his own invincibility. His forced retirement of Eric and alienation of Katie might prove to be strategic blunders that cost Forrester Creations dearly in this high-stakes competition. The fashion world of Los Angeles will never be the same after this showdown concludes. Relationships will be permanently altered, careers will be made or destroyed, and the balance of power in the industry will shift dramatically as these titans of fashion prepare for battle. Only one thing is certain: the conflict ahead will be spectacular, brutal, and absolutely unforgettable.